neurovascular supply of the skull. First of all, the nerve supply. Nerve supply. In front of the auricle, this scalp is supplied by the 4 sensory nerves. Behind the auricles, this scalp is supplied by 4 sensory nerves. Means there are total 8 nerves that provide the sensory supply. It is the sensory. Motor supply, it is only one nerve. There is only one nerve in front of the auricle, and there is one nerve behind the auricle, which is the motor supply that supplies the muscles, occipitofrontalis belli. The sensory supply, the first nerve, it is the supratrochlear nerve. Supratrochlear nerve. Then the second, it represents the supraorbital nerve. In the skull, we have discussed the supraorbital foramen and the supratrochlear notch that are present at the upper margin of the orbits. Through this foramen and the notch, these two nerves emerge. And these two nerves, supratrochlear and the supraorbital nerves, are the branches of the frontal branch of the ophthalmic nerve. Frontal branch. Ophthalmic nerve. Which is a division of ophthalmic nerve, which is a division of the trigeminal nerve. Now the third, it is the zygomaticotemporal nerve. Zygomaticotemporal nerve. This zygomaticotemporal nerve, it is a branch of the maxillary nerve. Maxillary nerve. This maxillary nerve is the second division of this trigeminal nerve. Now the fourth, this is the auriculotemporal nerve. It supplies in front of the auricles. It is important nerve. This auriculotemporal nerve, it is the branch of the mandibular nerve. Mandibular nerve means in front of the auricles, the scalp is supplied by the branches of the trigeminal, that is the frontal, maxillary, that is the ophthalmic, maxillary, and the mandibular nerve. Behind the auricles, it is supplied by the branches of the cervical plexus. Cervical plexus. The fifth nerve, which is behind the auricle, it represents the great auricular nerve. GN, that is the great auricular nerve. It is the one of the branch of the cervical plexus with the root value ventral rami of C2 and C3. Then the sixth, it is the lesser occipital nerve. It is also branch of the cervical plexus with the ventral rami root value, it is the C2. Now, that is the seventh, it is the great occipital nerve. It is the dorsal rami of the C2. It is the dorsal. It is not a branch of the cervical plexus. These two are the branches of the cervical plexus. And the last, it is the eighth, it is the third occipital nerve. It is the dorsal ramus of the C3. So, from anterior to posterior, this is called sensory supply. It is the supratrochlear, supraorbital, then zygomaticotemporal nerve, then auriculotemporal nerve. Behind the auricle, it is the great auricular nerve, it is the lesser occipital nerve, it is the greater occipital nerve, and this is the third occipital nerve. These are the sensory branches. If you go the motor branch, there is only one branch in front and one motor branch behind. This is the temporal branch of the facial nerve. Temporal branch of the facial nerve, while the posteriorly it is the posterior auricular branch of the facial nerve. Posterior auricular branch. These are the two motor branches, temporal and the posterior auricular nerve, which are the branches of the facial nerve. Now the blood supply. Blood supply, first it is the arterial supply. In front of the auricle there are three arteries. It is the supratrochlear artery, supraorbital artery, and the superficial temporal artery. Behind the auricle, it is the posterior auricular artery, and it is the occipital artery. These arteries enter from the periphery of the skull, while in the center of the skull they freely anastomosis, branching and anastomosis with each other. The supratrochlear and the supraorbital artery. This is the branch of the ophthalmic artery. Ophthalmic artery. This ophthalmic artery, it is the branch of the internal carotid artery. Internal carotid artery. While this superficial temporal artery, it is a branch, terminal branch of the external carotid artery. Behind the auricle, it is the posterior auricular artery. It is a branch of the external carotid artery. And then most posteriorly, it is the occipital artery. It is also a branch of the external carotid artery. So we see in the skull there is a free anastomosis between the branches of the internal carotid artery plus external carotid artery. Both are the terminal branch of the common carotid artery. Now the venous drainage. The veins are same and they follow the artery. The name are the same and they follow the artery. First, the supratrochlear, the venous drainage, see in this diagram. This is the supratrochlear and the supraorbital vein. At the medial angle of the eye, these both veins unites and form. This is the angular vein. This is known as the angular vein, which is formed by union of the supratrochlear and the supraorbital vein. And this veins, angular vein, descends on the face. Now it is the facial vein. This angular vein becomes the facial vein. Now this is the superficial temporal vein, which follows the superficial temporal artery. The superficial temporal vein in the parotid gland unites with the MV. This MV is the maxillary vein. Maxillary vein means the superficial temporal vein and the maxillary vein unites with each other to form the retromandibular vein. This retromandibular vein is formed in the parotid gland. This is the parotid region in front of the auricle, tragus of the ear. Now, at the apex of the parotid gland, this retromandibular vein is divided into. This is the retromandibular vein formed by the union of the superficial temporal and the maxillary behind the neck of the mandible. This is divided into the anterior and the posterior division. Anterior and the posterior division. This anterior division unites with the facial vein. This facial veins unites with this anterior division of the retromandibular vein, and the structure form is the common facial vein. This common facial vein drains into the internal jugular vein. This is the internal jugular vein in which this common facial vein drains. Now, the posterior division, this division of the retromandibular vein, see the diagram, unites with the posterior auricular vein. Posterior auricular means it runs behind the auricle, so it is known as the posterior auricular. Runs along with the posterior auricular artery. This posterior auricular veins unites with this posterior division of the retromandibular vein, and it forms the structure that is known as the external jugular vein. This external jugular vein ultimately drains into the subclavian vein. Subclavian vein means these veins of the skull ultimately drains into the internal jugular and the subclavian vein, and this unites to form the brachiocephalic vein. These points we will further discuss in the face region. Face region. Now the applied aspect. Applied aspect.